Can you believe it's been 15 years?
No, it's, it just feels like it's just flashed, just so fast to us, and it's been an unbelievable ride. I'm sure you would agree with that, Mark.
It's been very special.
Yeah.
What a way to end our careers.
It is. It really is. We appreciate having the opportunity to chat one last time as employees together. I was wondering if you had to pick one thing, one happening, one event over the course of your Jonah Bank career that was impactful to you, what would it be, Mark?
That's a tough question. I think maybe not one thing, but I think having been in banking for 48 years and working for a lot of institutions, I think what really made Jonah Bank special, the whole experience to me, has been the ownership and in particular Mick and John, our two majority owners. They've let the bankers be the bankers, and it's never been about how much money can you guys make. It's always been about let's do the right thing. And starting with, we adopted the culture to be built on the Code of the West, which we figured that out before we figured out how to have a bank.
Yeah, we did.
But then beyond that, we were able to go out and afford to hire good employees and pay them fair wages. We really focused on taking care of our customers over the years. That was our big focus. And also being involved in our communities. Both of them. We've got our employees involved. We've given financially. And it's all been about building a better Wyoming, which has been our mission. And that doesn't happen very often. I've worked for banks that talk, but they don't talk the talk. So anyway, I'd have to say just the confidence that our owners and founders had in letting the bankers run the bank and not try to change things. And the fact we didn't get pressured to do things just to make money.
I would agree with all of that. I think one of the things that I would say in addition to that is that the backgrounds that you and I came from and our operating philosophies really meshed well with each other. And what was so serendipitous was that it also met with what Mick and John wanted to do, and that we wanted to focus on commercial relationships. We wanted to be involved in mortgage lending. We didn't want to be all things to all people. I think that's a trap that you can get into that we have been pretty good about not getting into. And probably the most important thing to me was just, again, to have a very high impact relationship driven business with our customers. It wasn't about being an internet bank. It was we talked a lot about that, and that there was going to be that piece that was going to that we were going to have to contend with, because we kind of felt like we were exactly the opposite of that. That what we focused on was being a part of our customers' lives, and it's worked really, really well. And it was just really special that's what Mick and John wanted.
Yeah.
So
that's really a good point. I think it boils back down to you and I have always believed in community banking.
Yep.
And we were able to take what we learned over the years and deploy it, I guess, the relationship building, taking care of your employees, and they take care of the customers. So, it sounds like simple things, but it really did work.
No.
And not many people get the opportunity to start something like this from scratch. And 15 years later, it's worked and still working.
I remember back when we first started, and it was before we were chartered, but sitting in the Teton building down in Cheyenne, scrawling out on Big Chief tablets what this bank might look like. And our table,
I remember that.
our table was a refrigerator box, a cardboard refrigerator box that we worked off of. So very humble, modest beginnings.
Yeah, I remember that. seems like only yesterday too that
Yeah.
we were doing that.
Very true.
So,
And then bringing on the first set of people that came to work with us. And as far as I know, no one came over asking for a bump in their pay. Everybody came across understanding that this was a bank that we were going to be just pulling right out of the dirt, and that we had the right set of people that came to us, and it's just blossomed from there. It's just been an incredible thing about how I remember Mickey saying early on to always hire talent in front of the need to hire talent. If you got the right people, get them on ship. And we were able to do that, and that's so rare. I mean, that was the first time in my career, in my banking career, that I was able to be involved with something like that.
yeah, that was special. You know, I do want to mention Mickey too, because thankfully he had the foresight and recognized the need back in 2005 that there was a need for a community bank. And when he recognized it, he went out and we were fortunate to be two people he asked to be part of. But without Mick McMurray's recognition and vision, I don't know that Jonah Bank would have ever happened. Every time I think about it, I still remember every time we had events at the bank, Mickey just loved to have social events. When we turned 1 year old, we had a birthday party. When we turned 2 years old, we had another birthday party. And he'd always jump up and down and say, if I'd known banking was so much fun, I would have did this a long time ago.
That's right. I love this
yeah.
banking business.
Yeah.
That's how he used to put it. But yeah, and I remember he would, it seems like every employee that we brought in the early days got to go for a ride in one of those hotshot cars that he owned. That was fun too.
Yeah, another special thing is I remember he took us out to Jonah Field before we actually started the bank.
And our spouses.
And our spouses, Karen and Dory got to go, and it was really special to, because that really is where the money came from, was out of Jonah Field to help start Jonah Bank.
It was the genesis of the bank.
Yeah, that was special.
It was very fun.
Well, I hope it continues to operate like it has. We've spent, as you know, a lot of time on planning our succession. In fact, we probably started while Mick was still alive.
Yes.
We did, and we've got a great team in place with Kim, Bill, and Mike, and just a great group of Jonah bankers. And I guess if there's one thing I hope continues is the culture that's been built over the last 15 years based on the Code of the West.
You know, it's hard. It's almost impossible to emphasize how much we stress that. It's just critical for our bank to be the kind of bank that Mick had in mind when we started, and I would totally agree that our biggest challenge will be to again not chase down the wrong bunny holes and to stay consistent, and because I think, without bragging, I think we're pretty good at that, and I hope that and expect that we will always be true to that culture. I hope, and it is hard to do for people that we're bringing in that are new to the bank, but I hope that everybody remembers Mickey. That Jonah Bank would not have been Jonah Bank, would not have been a bank, and we have to always remember the memory and the philosophy that Mickey brought to this bank. There's so many people to thank for this incredible journey that you and I have spent together, Mark, and I don't really know where to start and where to end because the list is really long, but I'll just maybe touch on a couple of them. First of all, my wife Dory and my family, they have stuck by my side through thick and thin, and it's just been an honor to have my family by my side. Also, just want to thank again Mickey up there and John for having the vision to start this incredible journey that will continue off into the future. And our employees, the ones that we started with and the ones, the 80 employees that we have now. It's just been, again, these are professional, incredible people. And I wouldn't trade our staff for anyone that I've ever worked with before or that I know of that exists now. You people are wonderful, and thank you for all you've done.
And I'd like to thank my wife Karen for agreeing to move back to Casper after we'd left there 20 years before, and my whole family for supporting. It was a big move. It was a big move to leave Cheyenne after 20 years and have this opportunity, but it was kind of scary, and Karen stuck with me, was very supportive, and thank you, honey. I really appreciate it. I'd like to thank everybody at the events. All of you played some sort of role in the success of Jonah Bank over the last 15 years, and just want to thank you for whatever role you played. And I would definitely like to thank the Jonah bankers. I don't think there's a better group of bankers anywhere, and I'm just proud to have had a chance to work with all of you guys, and I look forward to continuing to work with you, just not on a daily basis.
And how about our customers?
Oh.
I mean, just
Yeah.
best customers in the world.
Yeah.
We have great relationships with them, and thank you. Obviously, we wouldn't be very far down the pipe if we didn't have the incredible customers that we have.
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of people we're forgetting out there, but if we forgot you, we still appreciate you and we thank you. So, but it's just been an incredible, special 15 years for both of us, and we look forward. We're not leaving the bank. We just won't be here day to day anymore.
Very good. Thanks, my friend.
Pretty special.